Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Heavy Metal Music Theory. This episode was actually a request by a viewer. They commented and they asked me to do an analysis of The Call of Ktulu by Metallica. I typically don't look to Metallica for very interesting things in terms of music theory. They seem pretty basic in a lot of ways. This song surprised me, and I'm going to put the chords up on screen. I'm going to do two sections. This song has a ridiculous amount of sections to it. I'm going to do two. I'm going to do the intro part, and then I think it's what would be considered like the verse or the chorus. For what it's worth, we're going here with the key of D minor as the home key for The Call of Ktulu. And we start out with a D minor chord. Whoop, there's your D minor chord. All right. We're then followed by a D minor with an A in the bass. All right, now the A is part of the D minor chord. It's the fifth, so it works. There's a lot of slash chords in this song, which makes me think that Cliff Burton, the bass player from the 80 through 87 or 88 year range, was probably the mastermind behind at least some of this, because I think he was the most classically trained musician in Metallica. So we're going from the D minor to the D minor over A, and that's just the one chord, right? Then we're going to go to a B flat, which is the sixth chord in D minor, with a D in the bass, and of course the D is the third of the B flat, so that's a nice slash chord. We're then going to move up to an E diminished, which is the two chord of D minor. You don't see that too often. This one has a B flat in the bass, which also is part of the chord. It's the fifth. It's that diminished fifth in the diminished chord. And then the progression kind of ends on a C chord last. Now, I know that what I'm playing here isn't really sounding like the song. It's pretty much all arpeggiations of these chords in a very stepward fashion up the guitar neck. And I'm playing this on piano just so you can hear the tonality. So essentially what we're dealing with here is we're dealing with a song in D minor. It's going from D minor as the one chord to B flat major as the sixth chord, and then on to E diminished, which is the two chord, which is really cool that I threw that in there because you don't see that too often. And then it ends the progression on a C chord. And of course, three of those chords have altered bass notes. They're slash chords. So you have the D minor with the A, right? And then you had the B flat with the D, and then you had the E diminished with the B flat. So very interesting progression. The next section is the section that uses the A minor add 9 chord. So that's an A minor chord with the ninth added, which means that you're playing, if we play the A minor scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's your octave, there's your 9, all right? You go above the octave by one note. That note happens to be B, so you're going to voice this chord A, B, C, and E. That's such a nice chord, all right? So A minor, add 9. And they do this. This is the part where the rhythm gets really chunky and it goes. Now what I did there is I was altering my bass between the root A and the tritone E flat. And that's another reason I think Cliff Burton probably had a hand in this. That's a very music theory laden brain idea right there. I don't think that was done on accident. I think that was purposeful, and it sounds great, and it adds a very agitated feel to the section. It then goes to D minor again. We're back to the one chord, and then the B flat with the D again. Now we're back to the sixth chord, and then they do this walk up on variations of the D chord. They do a D minor 6 to a D minor 7. So we're keeping with the D minor foundation, but we're changing the top note, or you can consider that the melody note, to create a sense of growing, rising, or just movement in general. So for the most part, we're in D minor. We have a lot of 1 chord in D minor. We have some 6 chord in B flat major. We have a really interesting infusion of the E diminished chord, which is the 2 chord in D minor. And then during that section, you have a lot of that A minor 7 add 9, or I'm sorry, A minor add 9, with the altered bass of the E flat, right? That tritone, that sounds so cool. And then at the end, you have more D minor with the addition of the minor 6 and then the minor 7, just to give a sense of movement and growth within that tonality. I hope that made sense to everybody. I'm definitely impressed with the song. I mean, you hear a song, you don't always think about what's going on music theory-wise, but to look at this was pretty cool. I enjoyed it very much, and if anybody has any requests of their own, please let me know and I'll do them. All right? Thanks for watching. Take care.